The game is moving right along. Let's see if I can get any scoring updates on games of particular interest to Hendricks County or the Mid-State Conference. And Martinsville leading Silver Creek 42-6 at the half, and now intercepted, and yes, he's going all the way. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was Jordan Meyer there. He is a sophomore. So Tavius Menifee was going for one final shot of glory of his high school career, and it turns into a touchdown for Plainfield. Wow! So Plainfield tonight scored on 7 offensive plays, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and now an interception return for a touchdown. 62-8 your score now with the conversion pending. The extra point is up, and it is good. So Plainfield now, the clock does stop there while they change possessions. The Quakers getting ready to kick off now. So 10:02 to go in the game. Plainfield leading 63-8. I do feel for these Anderson kids, but great performance by the Quakers, and I'm glad to see that they're I'm glad to see that they did take the game seriously, and I'm glad to see that the reserves are getting in on the action too. We've had not only the interception return just now by Jordan Meyer, but also earlier in the game, or earlier in the half, the 33-yard touchdown rush by sophomore Corin McGill. So some very promising sophomores doing well for the Quakers tonight. Not to mention the starter, Ethan Ellis, a starting wide receiver, got a couple of touchdowns tonight, a 42-yard rush and a 33-yard reception. And now Anderson returning the kickoff at 25-30, 35. And he is going all over the place trying to find some room to get up to 35 or 36. That was Javian Menifee. Hopefully he'll have some better days as a junior and a senior for his team. So now Anderson going on offense again. And now Menifee takes it over to the left side. He's got some room. He picks up nearly a first down. Yeah. So it's the 6 yards there by Menifee, who's played hard the whole way under some very difficult circumstances. And now Edwards gets about 5 there, gets the first down. So 4 yards by Houston Edwards. So 7:41 to go and counting here in the game. Plainfield leading 63-8. Now Menifee fakes the handoff, takes it up himself over the left side. He gets 5, and now he drags his way up. He's close to another first down. $7:20 to go. Anderson still trying to get something positive here. Menifee's rushed 21 times tonight. He got 8 there. 2nd and 2 at the Plainfield 44 now. The Quakers still waiting a word on next week's opponent. The snap. Menifee drops back, throws. He's got a completion for a first down and a short pickup. There is a flag, however. Let's see. It's a completion to Warfield for about 6, but let's see what the penalty is. Well, Franklin's opened up a 42-17 win over 42-17 lead over Columbus East, so it's good to see the Grizzly Cubs getting a tournament win. Perry Meridian leading Perry Meridian holding against Plainfield. Perry Meridian leading Southport 42-6 in the 4th. Greenwood leading Bedford North Lawrence 35-8 in the 3rd. Martinsville leading Silver Creek 42-6 at the half. So it's the only blotch in the Mid-State Conference. Bishop's Retard beating Mooresville 35-13. So 5:39 to go. First and 10 at the 34 now for the Indians, and now Menifee throws it away. Oh man. Ten receptions tonight by Warfield, by the way. So 4:52 to go now. I'm sorry. Anderson first and 10 at the 34. Low snap, but he gets it. Throws, and it is complete for a gain of about 5 or no. So he's Tavius Menifee throws to Javian Menifee, but it is incomplete. It looked like he had both hands, but he just didn't get the grip on it. 13 of 28 through the air for Menifee. The effort's been there. He just hasn't had the talent around him. I hope he has some good highlights, online. I hope it'll get him a college scholarship. So 3rd and 10 now. And now Menifee takes it himself. He's got some room. He is going to be close to another first down. It's going to bring up 4th and short. Give him credit for 9 on that one. Under 4 minutes now. Plainfield leading 63-8. The Quakers will advance to the sectional championship game next week. Waiting for word on who the opponent will be. It could be Whiteland, could be Decatur Central. Those 2 teams playing right now. We're waiting on a final. And Anderson has taken timeout with 3:06 to go, so the clock will briefly stop there. So let's see if I can get see what's up now with okay, here we found a on Max Prep's list of scores here. So Brownsburg leading Avon 14-7 in the fourth quarter. Lawrence North leading my son's alma mater, Lawrence Central, 12-3. It says in progress, doesn't say what quarter. Oh, Westfield leading Harrison 49-0. Westfield led by former Plainfield quarterback Carson Melvin. Harrison, of course, our frequent rival. I was skeptical about them doing well in their move up to Class 6A this year. Of course, they did run into a tough opponent tonight. So now Menifee gets up. He takes it. I think he did get the yard he needed for the. Yeah, he did. So under 3 minutes to go, Anderson will have a chance to get one more score to close out the season. He got the 1 yard he needed. 23 rushes now by Menifee, in addition to 28 passes. He's been the focal point of the team. He has a lot of talent. Unfortunately, not much to work with. He deserved better for his senior season. So two receivers to the left now, one to the right. Menifee takes it, now throws, and he's got. It looked like he had a catch and then he dropped it, but let's. So they say it's a completion to Warfield, and I think they're saying he was down, so that's going to be a pickup of about 9 yards there. So that'll be a 9 yard pickup there. So the 11th completion, and now the play's whistled dead here. It's going to be false start against Anderson. Still 2 timeouts left. Let's see if they use them or not. So then a keeper there by Menifee, another 4 yards there. 1 minute to go now. So Anderson still with 2 timeouts left. We'll see if they use them to try to get that final score. And now throws into the end zone, and it is incomplete. So one more play. He was going for Warfield. 30 passes by Menifee. So they could take a timeout here. But anyway, they're going to go for on 4th and 6 at the 21. Throws into the end zone. And it's incomplete. It's incomplete. So doesn't quite get the positive send-off for his career that he wanted, but great, courageous performance by Tavius Menifee. But nevertheless, if you're a Quaker fan, you couldn't have asked for much more than you got tonight. They came and took care of business, won easily. Your final score here tonight in the first round of the playoffs, Plainfield 63, Anderson 8. We'll be back with a recap and a look ahead to next week's sectional championship game after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. This broadcast of Plainfield Quakers football on audiosportsonline.com is brought to you by the generous donations of our sponsors. We would like to recognize them and we hope you will support them. They are Remax Centerstone, Julia Berberich, Ganell Financial, Crone Family Construction, my IT Indy Ryan Grimes, I-70 Record Service and Garage, BGW Construction LLC, Legacy Motorsports, Crest Point Real Estate, Chris Pearson, Selwith Jones, the Stewart Home Group, and Ellis and Associates. Thank you, sponsors. Your support for the student athletes of Plainfield High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Plainfield for a final time tonight, where your Plainfield Quakers have just gotten a very easy win to start off the playoffs here in 2024, beating the Anderson Indians by a score of 63-8. Anderson was a very badly overmatched team. They came in averaging only 11 points a game on the season, while giving up 49. And they were so bad that Plainfield ran only 12 offensive plays and scored touchdowns on 7 of them, in addition to getting a touchdown on a kickoff return and an interception return. A scoring recap on the first play from scrimmage of the game: Luke Starnes rushed 63 yards for a touchdown, his 19th of the season. We hit a successful 1-point conversion on online touchdowns. So I'll just say that now to save a little time in the scoring recap. Then with 7:26 to go in the quarter, Weston Wayrich scored on a 9-yard rush with 5:17 to go in the first quarter. Bryce DeBonk threw 33 yards to Ethan Ellis for a touchdown, only the third Quakers passing touchdown of the season. With 1:10 to go in the quarter, Weston Wayrich rushed 5 yards for a touchdown. With 11:41 to go in the second quarter, Ethan Ellis rushed 42 yards for a touchdown. With 10:36 to go in the quarter, Weston Wayrich rushed 21 yards for his third touchdown of the game, 18th of the season. Finally, Anderson got a score with 5:44 to go here in the second quarter on a 2-yard touchdown pass from Tavius Menifee to Jovan Warfield. Then Menifee rushed for a successful 2-point conversion, cutting the score to 42-8 and making it a 34-point lead, which would have avoided a second half running clock to start the second half. However, on an attempt on an onside kick on the ensuing kickoff, Sean Callahan returned it for the touchdown, making this score 49-8 at half. Then the Quakers added 2 scores by reserves in the second half. Corin McGill scored on a 33-yard rush with 7:21 to go in the third quarter, and Jordan Meyer scored on an interception return for a touchdown in the fourth quarter under a running clock. Look at the individual statistics first of all for Plainfield. Bryce DeBonk completed 2 of 3 passes for 31 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. Ethan Ellis had 1 reception for 33 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Hendry had 1 reception for -2 yards. Luke Starnes had 3 rushes for 94 yards and a touchdown, all in the first quarter. Weston Wayrich had 5 rushes for 46 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Corin McGill had 1 rush for 33 yards and 1 touchdown. Meanwhile, for Anderson, Tavius Menifee completed 14 of 31 passes for 153 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Javon Warfield had 11 receptions for 136 yards and 1 touchdown, and Javian Menifee had 2 for 17. On the ground, Menifee rushed 24 times for 61 yards. Malik Jones rushed 3 for -9, and Houston Edwards 7 for 11. So in conclusion, this is a game in which obviously Plainfield played its weakest opponent probably in well over 10 years. Plainfield does not play any cupcakes, during the regular season. They always, they sacrifice easy wins for teams that make them better. That's why the regular season record most years usually is more good than great. But this year, obviously 8-1. But the point is, Plainfield's not accustomed to playing. To, Plainfield is not accustomed to playing weak teams like this. They came out tonight. They handled themselves well. They didn't screw around. They took the game seriously. It was very businesslike. They knew they weren't likely to lose, but they knew that this is, they want to climb to the top of the ladder. They knew this was the first step, and they handled it very professionally. I laud the Anderson kids for playing hard under very difficult circumstances. I certainly wish them, much improvement in the future, and I mean that most sincerely. I want Plainfield to win, but it doesn't mean that I'm a sadistic person who would wish this kind of season on anybody. The kind of season Anderson's having now, especially their seniors. I hate them. I hate for them to go out like that. But anyway, Plainfield now they've won one of the 5 games that they needed to win if they want to get to the state championship. Now we'll see how they do next week at the sectional championship game. And I'm trying to get a final score here so we can confirm. Oh, by the way, in the fourth quarter, Tri-West leads Cascade 34-28. So, wow. So one Hendricks County team in 3A will be playing for a sectional championship next week. And I really want to get this final score before we go off the air, because I want to be able to tell you all where to go next week. Let's see. Excuse me, does anybody have a final score on the Decatur Central Whiteland game? Is it final? They're checking here. And so, yeah, I was looking up Max Preps. Maybe there's a better source out there than that. But okay, great. So anyway, the last score I heard was 28. Okay, 11 seconds left. So I'll go on a limb and say that Decatur Central is going to win. They lead 28-14 with 11 seconds left. So that means that the sectional championship game will be right here 1 week from tonight. We don't have to go on the road. That's the good news. The bad news is we have to go against the team that brought us our only loss of the season. That was 41-21 back in week 6 in a rain-drenched game. Decatur Central is a team that's beaten us 15 of the last 17 times. And they're led by superstar quarterback Bo Polston, a 3-year starter, still only a junior. He's on his way to play Division 1A football for the University of Toledo Rockets, which is an appropriate school for him because he has a laser rocket arm. This year in the regular season, he completed 110 of 162 passes for 1,469 yards. That's a 67.9 completion percentage. 16 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, better than a 5-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. His leading receiver is Kashmir Hicks, a junior. So they'll be back together, as a senior duo. Hicks has 40 receptions for 713 yards, nearly 18 yards of reception and 10 touchdowns. Also, Carson Eisen, a very good junior, 26 receptions for 259 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then on the ground, they have a whole slew of great running backs led by junior Pharrell Carter. So all these star junior players, Decatur Central should be, Decatur Central and Plainfield very well might be the top 2 5A teams in the state a year from now. Pharrell Carter leads the way, averaging over 10 yards a carry, 41 receptions for 476 yards. He has 6 touchdowns. While Kashmir Hicks, the star receiver, also rushes well with 20 for 296 and 3 touchdowns. And then Hunter Harvey has Hunter Harvey has 35 rushes for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns. Napo Dodo, 36 rushes for 236 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Bo Polston, the quarterback himself, 57 rushes for 235 yards and 5 touchdowns. So it's going to be a handful. So what we just have to do is look at that game tape from that week 6 game. Hopefully, it looks like we'll be in better weather conditions. We're supposed to have a high of 66 next Friday, excuse me. Um, I think it's supposed to be, yeah, partly cloudy. So nothing about rain on that day. So that's good. So we should have more favorable weather conditions than we did last time. And what we just have to do is look at the game tape, figure out why they beat us last time. Besides the fact that they have a heck of a lot of talent, but figure out what game plan we can come up with that would give us a better chance to beat them. And certainly we have improved since then. Our rushing offense has improved, our passing offense has improved, and I think if we can figure out how to combat their defense better and figure out how to contain their dynamic offense better, and the ball bounces our way a couple of times. I think we have a 50-50 shot to get out of there with the win next week. And keep in mind, each of the last two seasons, we lost. Excuse me. Each of the last two regular seasons, we played a team in the tournament that we played in the regular season. And one time, 2 years ago, we lost to a team in the regular season and then beat them in the playoffs, Harrison. And then last year, Harrison did the same thing to us. We beat them in the regular season. They beat us in the playoffs. So, we just got to go back to that game tape and use, the lessons from that game, figure out why we lost and how we can do better next time. And then go out there and play the game of our lives and just execute. Unfortunately, we only ran 12 plays on offense tonight. So our guys should be very well rested. And so if we just go out there next week before a fired up home crowd, I think that we're going to, I think we're going to have a very good shot to win. We better be ready because Decatur Central, they've been to the state championship game here in Class 5A 2 of the last 6 years, 2 of the only 4 state championship game appearances in mid-state conference history. So, it's going to be it's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a tough fight. We're going to have to bring our A game, but if we do bring our A game, we can do great things as we've shown all season. That's why we're 9-1, and that's why we beat Whiteland this year. Why we beat Mooresville, and everybody except Decatur Central, and they're next. So anyway, all's well that ends well. And when we beat Harrison in the playoffs a couple of years ago, certainly it took away the disappointment of the regular season loss to them. And the opposite was true last year. When we beat them in the regular season, lost them in the playoffs. So hopefully this year we'll um, all's will. Hopefully all will be well next week. And we'll get a good win over Decatur Central and win only the third sectional championship in school history, but the second in 3 years. And then at that point, our chances going forward, are going to be very good, heading into the regional and the semi-state. And so, I promise not to look ahead. We've got to take this just one game at a time. I don't want to get it too ahead of ourselves, but I will say if we do play our A game, we can beat Decatur Central next week. We did, we beat them twice 2 years ago, so we can beat them again this year and overcome, that loss last time. And if we do that, we're going to have a very good shot to, win some more games. And, I'm not going to, I'm not going to put, I'm not going to, try to put ideas in people's heads and saying that, we're guaranteed to go to a certain level or that, we have or that we're likely to. But I'm not going to put any limits on these kids either. And I think if they bring their A game every week and just execute and focus and play their hearts out and play to the maximum of their ability, they can do a lot of awesome things and give this season a very, very happy ending. So that leaves it up to you all to do what I'm going to say now, which is show up here 1 week from tonight. Um, you know, I think the kids will do their part by playing hard, and I want you all to do your part by supporting them, cheering hard. I want to have thousands and thousands of fans packing these bleachers, packing the standing room, uh, like it's a bunch of um, crazed people at a political rally, and just cheering as loud as you can, making it sound like a rock concert, letting these kids know you support them, you believe in them, and that you believe that they can make history this year, starting with the sectional championship next week. So, I'll be here to bring you the game, and you can always listen on your mobile device while you're watching the game here live. But and I certainly understand all you grandparents and other relatives and friends and alumni who can't be here. But for those of you who can, get out here and just make a whole lot of noise, stomp on the bleachers, and let's cheer these kids on to what would be one of the biggest victories in school history. So once again, your final score here tonight at Plainfield, your Plainfield Quakers 63, the Anderson Indians 8. Anderson ends the season at 0-10, while Plainfield rises to 9-1. They get 9 wins for the first time in 16 years, and they move ahead to the sectional championship game 1 week from tonight. And appropriately, they're playing the Michael Jackson song Thriller now, because we're going to have a real thriller 1 week from tonight. So, uh, um, as always, thank you so much for joining me, and I cordially invite you to do so again 1 week from tonight as your Plainfield Quakers, ranked number 5 in Class 5A, play the arch rival Decatur Central Hawks, ranked number 4 in Class 5A, for the sectional championship. Until then, for AudioSportsOnline.com, this is Lex Zorn reminding you there is a difference only you can make.